Welcome back. I have Phillip Moore here again with us. And today I thought I'd ask about the paradigm shift. You referred to it in a couple of times in the other videos, and I wondered if you could expand on the paradigm shift.
Well, like many words in the English language, these two words, paradigm shift, are getting overused and abused. And so it's really great to have an opportunity to speak about it in the way that I understand. There was a book that came out in the 50s or the 60s by Thomas Kuhn, and it was The Structures of Scientific Revolution. And really what it was looking at very specifically of what happens when there's a Newtonian worldview and then Einstein comes along. And then everything shifts to a very different kind of worldview. And of course, the one that we're most aware of is the paradigm shift of the Earth being flat and going to it being round. And it really changes everything when you shift the paradigm. And so Thomas Kuhn in his book really coined the term paradigm shifting. And my teacher, Jeff Carrera, who's a meditation teacher, he's also my publisher and also my close friend. So Jeff has an amazing book called Paradigm Shifting, which I highly recommend. And it's available on something called Emergence Education. And I'm going to give everybody who's on this video a website that they can go to that will lead to Emergence Education's website, and they can find out more about it. But essentially, it's a lot more than just change. It's really experiencing the world and living in a world that's very different than the one we're living in right now. The paradigm shift I'm talking about for education is one from the individual achiever to the we space, that we have to do this all together, and we're all interconnected. The one that starts by saying this is called an elementary school because all of the things that we teach you here are not connected to each other. Poetry has nothing to do with biology, not in this high school. You know, it's all compartmentalized. And in the new paradigm, everything is context. Everything is done within a context. So we teach thematic units here at our school, and they're driven by the passion of the teachers. That's just so different. Can you imagine a teacher at the beginning of a school year in September, and they've been having a wonderful experience all summer, playing and enjoying and being with their family and traveling and doing things that some people do in the summer times. And now they're ready to teach with the kids, and they've got this, they're so passionate about this unit that they're going to teach. And it could be the forest unit. And it's all about the wisdom of the forest and how the forest has grown and what happens, the intelligence in a forest, and how aware a forest can be and how it communicates through mycelium and whatever it might be. The teacher's passion really leads into a whole context. And through that studying and immersing yourself in direct experiences of it, you end up being able to do things on reading and writing and mathematics and science and some spirituality in terms of loving and protecting and fostering and defending the natural world. So you get to do all of these things within a context. So the educational paradigm shift and the paradigm shift in general that we need to experience on this planet, Buckminster Fuller said, this is our final examination. And there's no guarantee that humanity is entitled to continue to live. And so I do believe this is our final examination. And I think we're not doing so well in so many areas. It's horrendous to feel what we've been feeling in these last just few weeks in terms of the Amazon burning and, you know, the lungs of our planet. And no, that doesn't have any effect on me because I'm over here in Michigan and the air seems to be just fine. And, you know, all of those things, the way that we compartmentalize, but really what it does mean is we begin to experience ourselves as passengers aboard the same spaceship. And that spaceship is called Earth. And we're spinning and we're zipping. So one of the things that we do at our school is we use music to communicate many, many different things. Paradigm shifting is one of them. We sing a song called This Pretty Planet, which was written by Tom Chapin, but we introduce a verse to it. Instead of saying sun going down because the sun doesn't go down and the sun doesn't rise. We say sun clipsing from view. And so the children learn that phrase, sun clipsing from view. And then we have them experience the spin and the zip of the planet, you know, and still to this day, all you have to do if you want to know what paradigm you're in, is listen to some of the smartest people in the world or some of the greatest writers in the world. And if they're saying the sun sets and the sun rises, they still don't get it. Right. We're on a planet, which is an oblate geoid, spherical, that's spinning at 1,000 miles per hour at the latitude of Washington, D.C., and zipping around the sun at 60,000 miles per hour. So this motion of spinning and zipping and being on the same planet gives us the phrase of spaceship Earth. We're all passengers aboard this amazing, precious planet that we call spaceship Earth. And so a paradigm shift is so much more than we can possibly imagine because the hardwiring is so ingrained. So just for all of you viewers out there, just think of words instead of sunset and sunrise. My friend Jeff has come up with evening rotation and morning rotation.
Oh, I like it.
So that's a great way to think about it because you're really talking about what's happening. Oh my God, what a beautiful morning rotation this is. You know, this is an amazing evening rotation. And then also listen for all the times that you want to say sunset and sunrise, and you do say it, or friends say it. Yeah. And then you'll begin to, that's just a little koan to work with while you're exploring this idea of what is a paradigm shift. And essentially, that's really what I'm interested in. I'm interested in helping people experience this lack of separation and total connection. I'm interested in having individuals experience the we space of how wonderful it is to have this great diversity of humans together. One of the reasons that so many of the miracles occur at our school is the healers in our school are empowered and their children. And what they can do for children who are on the down spectrum, or children who are ADHD, or children who are high functioning Asperger's, and what those kids can do for them is so powerful, you can't even explain it, but magic happens when you have that going on. And the paradigm shift isn't happening from the top down, it's happening because you've created so much safety and love in this space that people can begin to rewire. Oh, I thought I had to always be wary of you because we're competing with each other, and I don't want to, I don't want to outshine you. Very often girls have that feeling, especially in schools where, the boys' egos bruise far easier, etc. So they hold things to themselves, and we're all so hungry for the wisdom of that young woman. And we all are in need of that point of view. And yet she may be in the old paradigm feeling like, well, she can't really eclipse that guy, or she can't really eclipse that teacher for those reasons. So paradigm shifting is really important. And I would recommend Jeff's book. And I would also recommend the Mystery School. So I'm going to give a plug for the website that I have on. It's called www.trimtab.in. IN ends up being India, but it also works so beautiful for what TrimTab is all about. And on that website, you'll see in Victoria a short clip of me and Dr. Shefali Tsarberry, and she'll talk a little bit about what's going on at Upland Hill School because she visited for a day. And then there's a little clip of Jeff Carrera talking about why TrimTab was needed. And that's also on the title or homepage. And there's 3 films. One of them is of Michael Leone, a child who described himself as being on the waste heap of humanity in special education when he was in school, and what he's doing with his life in Maui as he's changed architecture and brought sustainable sources of energy to the island. And he's got all these wonderful initiatives, and it's his story in his own words. And then there's one called Rocket Man, and Eric is talking about how we, at every close of the school year, we have a ceremony where we sleep out on a hill together in the early years. Now, in later years, there's a sleepover, but it's not as rustic as it was in the early years. And one of the parts of it, the ceremony, is a rocket launch, where we've built rockets throughout the year, and the rocket class launches various types of rockets. And it's always a very cool thing because it's a metaphor for some of them who are leaving our school. And it's also another Spaceship Earth thing. If you call this Spaceship Earth, what is a spaceship? Well, if you make a few, you get an understanding for what it takes to have the thrust, and then to plan ahead, anticipatory design science, so that the parachute comes out. And if you sent a grasshopper on in the capsule, you want that grasshopper to return safely to Earth in that capsule from a parachute, you know, all of those things. But I never would have predicted that one of our students would become an engineer for Lockheed Martin and be involved with several amazing space probes that are out there, and invite us to come to Cape Canaveral and to see Maven launch to Mars, and then to successfully follow the path of Maven as it lands a rover on Mars, and that rover is running around. And Eric was chosen to be the one in the command center for Lockheed Martin who everybody had to report to him. And he had the role of being able to say go or no go. And the reason they chose him is because they trusted his integrity, because somebody had to stand up if it was a no-go from one system, and he would be the one to do it. So I was so proud of Eric. And here's this kid who wanted to, the day before, do rocket launches with his children and with me, and to show that he's still that kid and still playing with rockets and doing that and sharing that with his nieces and nephews as well. And so the next day he's launching an actual rocket. Osiris, with the last rocket that he sent off, his team sent off, is going to strike a comet, take a sample, and then come back to Earth. And so that one's in process. So that one is called Rocket Man. And then we have Jean Houston, who is a grandmother of the human potential movement, one of the most extraordinary teachers in the world. If anybody wants to know what a new paradigm teacher looks like and sounds like, and if you don't know who Jean Houston is, she is it. She is the perfect archetype of the next paradigm teacher. And she's been doing it for many years. She just turned 80. I think Jean is now 82 years old. She looks like she's 40, and she interacts with people like she's 28. So she's an amazing human being, and you can find out more about her at jeanhouston.com. But she also came to the school and spent a day, and she has a 2-minute film. All of those things are on the website. The book is on the website. If you just Googled Phillip Moore, or YouTube, Phillip Moore Upland Hills School, 12 more films are there. And on the website itself, it says invest. And if you want to support paradigm shifting through TrimTab, you make a donation, and it'll be used and leveraged so that we can do more traveling and consulting. And that's what we're doing a lot of at this point. And if you want to stay in touch with me in a mentoring way, I'm interested in people like that beautiful woman who's doing this school in Southern California. So we can form a mentoring relationship if you want to bring an initiative. So all of that is available at www.trimtab.in. And I hope that we're going to be doing more of these with Katrina. And I hope to return. I know I'm going to return to Vancouver Island in July, because I've got the Hollyhock experience. So we can add something on at the beginning or something at the end. And who knows, I may be there even before then. I know of a wonderful initiative that's happening at Vancouver, in the city of Vancouver. And Ashley is doing an amazing thing there having to do with conscious parenting. So I may be there even before that. But I just want to thank you, Katrina, for taking such an interest in the future of children, and for letting me know as an author that it did communicate what I had hoped, that there were tears and there was laughter and there was excitement about sharing it with others. And I hope that some of you out there that are viewing this will order the book and read the book and get in touch with me. Let me know what you think.
Oh, and I can't thank you enough for taking the time to spend with us here. And I totally look forward to Hollyhock. I've marked it on my calendar, and I would
Okay.
encourage some others to join me. We can make a little carpool. I'm okay with that. And yeah, just reach out, look at those videos, because really there is nothing that I have read or come across that comes anywhere near as inspiring as this book has been for me. And that just really lights up that I believe in one of our first communications, you said it all, that every child is born a genius, and we just need to give them the space to do that.
Yeah. That was a Buckminster Fuller quote. And it's in one of the films that's on YouTube. The whole quote is there. And there's an introductory film to the school on YouTube. And that one has the Bucky quote at the end of it. And it gives you a sense of the feeling of school. So thank you so much. And till the next time.
Until the next time, thank you.